Okay, my beautiful gems. Let's get this party started. All right. Nancy, can you give me a thumbs up if you see everything good? Thank you, my dear. All right. So if you have not muted, please mute yourselves. That way I can get through this session with no interruption. And at the very end, you can feel free to unmute yourselves at any time, and then we can have a discussion. However, I like engagement, interaction. So we're going to be using the chat for that. I will have questions for you, and then just put it in the chat, and that will be perfect. So I'm Lindsay Amoroso. I'm in Arizona. I have 2 kids. I am married. I have fur babies, and I'm also known as a supplement girl. I do life coaching. I wear a lot of roles and a lot of hats, but this is something this presentation is near and dear to my heart, because when putting this presentation together, it's not only about life experiences. This is also something that I know that women, we probably need to talk about a little bit more. Maybe certain validation needs to be made. So a part of this, what I wanted to share was, we need to reclaim our crown as queens. We need to embrace our identity as a queen. We're not a servant, we're a queen. So we're gonna hop into this. All right, ladies. So this is my mission statement for you as women. We often face unique challenges and obstacles that can be difficult to overcome on our own. We tend to think that we're strong enough to handle all the things. I got this, I'll be okay. But we should actually really utilize our support system. And if you don't have one, please create one. Also, use your higher power in whatever you believe in. We tend to think with our emotions instead of being logical and realistic. So fear can be a factor as well about processing things. Those hurdles you have gone through in your life or currently going through is a part of your testimony. As a queen, you have all the abilities and talents to generate the life you always wanted. When you rise above those challenges, you will no longer look at those like they're difficult obstacles. It's things that you were able to get through. You can't experience growth without going through it. I'm sure you're tired of being tired. Let's get to work, queen. All right, so here's the first thing I have for you. Open up the chat, and this is my question for you. My question for you is, what is one thing you are working on with healing? What is one thing you are working on with your healing?
I'm working on dealing with issues of rejection. Rejection has been a huge issue for me for as long as I could. I guess I identified it as rejection, but I constantly have to work on that. When I see myself not doing what I'm supposed to do, then I have to kind of self-assess, and then I find that rejection is at the root again. So I'm working on that.
That's pretty powerful. Thank you for sharing that, Alicia. And I want everyone to know this is a safe place for you to be yourself and to share. I love all of your responses. This is amazing. Yes. I love that. Okay, perfect. So with the first question, y'all understood the assignment. I love it. Okay, we're going to keep chugging along. Great job, ladies. Okay, so I'm trying to move this. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Here we go. Minimize that. All right. So healing can take time. But how can we do this in practice? Okay. So Queen, I want everyone to be clear in here. Every woman that is here with me is a queen. Okay. Imagine a crown on top of your head, because everyone in here is royalty, right? Everyone here is royalty. So I will address you as queen tonight, and forever at that, for eternity, as long as we're on this planet, you are a queen. All right. So queen, I know you have been through hurt. Again, this is a part of your testimony. The trauma, the mental health, the medical illnesses, the abandonment, the trust issues, the forgiveness, grief, and many more things. I want you to know that's a part of your testimony to help someone. Assure yourself you are safe. I know we go through certain situations where like, why is this happening? But just remind yourself, I'm safe. That you went through those life experiences for a particular reason. The self-growth, your own testimony may save someone else. You are unbreakable. Even broken glass can be glued back together, but little by little, piece by piece, right? But pay attention to your environment, because triggers, it's a real thing. If you're not aware of your triggers, I really recommend to identify that with yourself, because that's what's going to help you with your healing process. You need to know where those triggers are. So bring the light into your life. What does that mean? Well, what about the hobbies you love? Your higher power, embracing relationships and finding peace, and always protect your peace at all costs. So stop allowing others to have control over you. How much longer will you rent out space, knowing you are the homeowner? I'm going to say that again. How much longer will you rent out space, knowing you are the homeowner? Sometimes we can rent out space to the wrong people and wrong situations. But as a homeowner, you could decide to boot things out and boot people away, and you could be the one in control. I see some information in the chat. Oh, Alicia, you good, girl. You good. Thank you. Thank you so much. I have another question for you. Please use the chat. Is there any mess in your life you are currently cleaning up? Is there any mess in your life that you're currently cleaning up? Share that with me in the chat. I would love to see what you put. Okay. Good one. Yeah, Olin, we talked about that. Yeah, absolutely. Is there any mess in your life right now you're currently cleaning up? When are we not cleaning up messes? We're going to definitely dive into that. Feel free to share. Thank you so much for your responses. So this is something that I know. Life can be messy, right? Life can definitely be messy. Abso-freaking-lutely. So trust me, Queen, you are not alone. I promise you, you are not alone. We have all gone through some mess or currently going through it, right? So I like to always remind myself when I take a first breath in the morning that I have another chance to make things right. I have another chance to be with my kids. I have another chance to be loved by my spouse. I have another chance to help others in need. So when you think about that, when you wake up the first thing in the morning, take that first breath, I want you to think about that. That what chances do you have each day? Because each day is not promised. So what can you do differently for you? Just tell yourself, I have another chance. And whatever that is, I legit have another chance of whatever I want. I refuse to waste time. Personally, I gave a lot into like my depression and anxiety oftentimes, but I refuse to waste any more time. I don't want you worrying about the time you lost in the past. I want you to press on. I'm sure a lot of us tend to think about the time that we wish we would have did this, done that, corrected all these areas in life, but you can't fix it. That's where you just need to press on and just wear that crown proudly. You have to. Even people on social media won't be brave or bold enough to share their true mess. Okay? I don't care if these social media people have the blue check mark. That's extra money they pay for monthly. I don't care if these people only show that they're on vacations, making all this money and doing all this other stuff, but they're never going to show their true identity of who they are. Why? Because there's an expectation to always look your best. Social media is also another area where you can advertise, you can connect with relationships, meet new people, get connected with old friends and old family members. I mean, it's a wide variety of things. But think about it. That's where the comparison thing comes into play. Where we tend to think, oh, this person has this, they have that, they have a perfect marriage. I promise you, you probably didn't know about the argument that they had before taking that picture smiling. Life is messy. It's not perfect. So, Queen, I need you to be authentic and unapologetic about it. Period. Seriously, God created you for a purpose. Your mess does not define of who you are. It only helps you bloom into something spectacular because nobody is perfect. You know what matters most? Progress. I always say progress over perfection. As long as I'm making some progress and I'm getting there, I'm chugging along, oh my goodness, that's so much better. Some of us may feel like the black sheep, but really you are the blueprint. I felt like the black sheep in my family for a long time. But in reality, maybe I was meant to stand out for a purpose. Maybe I was meant to be the blueprint for my children. You never know. Think about those things, right? Let me hop in the chat. I see some engagement going on. Yes, progress over perfection. I love your responses. Thank you so much for the engagement here. Okay, I have another question for you. Let's get in the chat. As a child, what did you enjoy to do? When you were a child, what did you enjoy to do the most? I would love to hear that from you guys. Yes. Playing outside. Oh my gosh, I miss that the most. Ooh, I love it. I love it. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so we got to shift our mindset. If you're already in a position of shifting your mindset, great. Keep it where it's at and keep going. Keep chugging along. But if you're still in a position of trying to discover what a healthy mindset looks like, this might help. So this picture right here is my daughter, Mila. She is on the spectrum for autism. Having a child with disability is extremely hard, but God knew that I can handle that level of hard. I call her my sunshine for a reason. When we go to Burger King and she wants that cheeseburger kids meal with a Dr. Pepper and an ice cream in a cup, she always asks, can I get a crown? Yeah, Mila, we'll ask for a crown. She puts it on right away. But let me tell you, when she puts that crown on, she is smiling, her eyes are sparkling, and it just moves my heart. But can you think about a child putting on a crown? I don't know what's going on with her thoughts, what she's feeling, what her imagination is. All I can see is her glow when she puts on this crown. So Queen, I want you to wear that crown. Doesn't matter how messy life can be. I want you to still wear that crown. Through the bad, through the good, all of it. Okay? So as a child, most of us, if this doesn't apply to you, that's fine. I'm sure you understand the concept. As a child, you play dress up. I know I did. You really embraced that moment of dress up. You believed you were a princess, a police officer, a doctor, all those things. And as an adult, you can still embrace dress up. I know adulting can be difficult. But when was the last time you played like a child, where you used your imagination, where you just didn't care in the world? There was just abundance of laughter, smiling cheek to cheek. I sometimes play dolls with my daughter, and it just brings me back with the happy moments when I used to play Barbies when I was a kid. Even though my daughter has more rules with playing, but it reminds me that it's okay to still have an imagination as a child. So Queen, I want your mindset to be the most powerful tool that there is, because you can be able to think the good thoughts, the bad thoughts. You think about your decision making, what words come out of your mouth, your actions, all those concepts that are wrapped into one. You can choose to downgrade or upgrade yourself. It takes time and practice. It's not going to happen overnight. If it does, hallelujah. You have time to make it all possible. So stop believing into those negative thoughts. Those were more than likely poured into you since childhood. I had to understand that. Some of the stuff that was happening with my upbringing, it was basically since childhood. But you have to pay attention to that. So B, I want you to be proud of how far you have come. Confidence is silent, but insecurities is loud. Confidence is silent because not every woman is going to say they have a confidence level problem. They just don't. But insecurities, that's out there. Verbally, posts, everything. They have no problem explaining that, right? All right. Let's open the chat, ladies. I have a question for you. What is one thing you do for self-love? Tell me one thing that you do for self-love, please. One thing you do for self-love. I love that, Mika. Jackie, yes, that's great. Summer, yes. Sharonda. That works. Yes, Nancy, I love that. Nisha. Alicia, good one, girl. Jamila, yes. Oh, I love that. I know it says iPhone, so I don't know what your name is, so I'm gonna have to say iPhone. Unless you put in a chat your name, then I can address you. Shantae, yes. Olin. Oh my gosh, you ladies are killing it with this. All right. So I want you to love yourself, queens. I know with the combination of life being messy and all the things that in our environmental factors, sometimes it can weigh on us. Stress, anxiety, mental health, medical stuff going on. Don't forget to love yourself. Queen, I know you've been through a lot in life. I do. Please stop allowing yourself to be a punching bag. Don't be a punching bag, please. Those relationships and situations did not last or work out for a purpose. It's not that you did anything wrong. I'm a spiritual person with God. So I hope I don't offend anyone if I say something relatable. I am rooted in Christ. But I feel like that God protects us from certain situations that we don't know. Seek self-love instead of needing others' approval. It's nice to have affirmations delivered to you, absolutely. But it all is internally. It really is. Give back to you and reclaim the things that you once enjoyed to do. So remember, think about those hobbies you used to love. Maybe those activities and wanting to plan that trip you always wanted to do. But I guarantee, Queen, you're taking care of other people and not you. Because that's just the nature of us women. That's all. Nothing wrong with it. Self-love is not selfish. Let me be clear. It's not. Okay? Maybe you want to explore and try new things. This is the life we have to live, and I want you to live it to its fullest. So be kind to yourself and pay attention to how you speak to yourself. My goodness, I used to rip my butt into two with the things I used to say to myself. And looking back on that, it just reminded me of like, my inner child was just hurting, that's all. And I just needed a hug. I just needed to process and go through it, mature from it, and grow through it. And I can tell you also, I was a professional people pleaser. Trent Shelton teaches on that, a triple P, professional people pleaser. So let me ask you this. Do you enjoy being a people pleaser? I'm sure nobody here is going to say yes. I'm sure no one is going to say that. So people pleasing is very common. So don't feel like, oh, is it just me? No, it's very, very common, especially for women who have experiences with being broken and trying to find their own identity. Because it's easier to please others and to help them versus addressing us straightforward. We got to be straightforward with ourselves too. The more you put it on the back burner, the harder it gets. Seeking for belongingness and acceptance, that's draining. But let me tell you this, from the moment you were born, you were already accepted. Oh my gosh, you already belong. That's how amazing queen and royalty you are. You were already accepted. You belonged here. You were supposed to be here for a purpose. And let me tell you, it's okay to say no. It's necessary to establish boundaries, healthy boundaries at that. Boundaries consist of communication, how you say it verbally, how your body language is, and the confidence of the boundaries to enforce it. This is a part of your identity. Because if there's certain triggers and certain things that don't sit well with you by people pleasing, that's where you have to establish boundaries. Queens never settle for less. Okay? We're royalty here. So stop worrying about others and what they think about you. You're already accepted. You already belong. These people are grown. They can take care of themselves. Focus on pouring more belief into you. You are what matter. You deserve nothing but the best. I want you to say that to yourself every day. I deserve nothing but the best. I'm a queen. Queens are always ready for war. They put on their armor and they go for it. You will not be able to love others unless you love yourself. And that's facts. I mean, I'm sure everybody has heard that at one point in their lives because it's the absolute truth. You got to know of who you are with your true identity, your authentic self. Sometimes also through childhood, you're probably living for others, but you got to know who you are. That is extremely important. We are almost done here, ladies. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this evening. Hopping back in the chat here. I have a question for you. Let's go in the chat. What is one thing you've been thinking about to take action on? What is one thing that you've been thinking about to take action on? This is great. This is great. Yes! I love it, ladies. Mm-hmm. Mm. This is awesome. All right, ladies. Hey, so Queen, we need to take action. We absolutely do. So embracing your inner queen involves recognizing your worth, cultivating confidence, and taking action. So we can attend counseling, coaching, life coaching, one-on-one, counseling. We can go to church. We can do their groups and events. We can attend seminars, retreats. We could spend money and invest into ourselves and self-help books and being in a place like this. But what matters is you actually putting in action of everything you learned. Don't just be present for that, and then after this, you walk away and you don't practice anything with it. It takes work. And Queen, you are the work. You are not part-time. You are full-time on yourself. It takes time. And you got to constantly work on you, no matter what. Think about that. By being here tonight, me pouring into you, I want you to take it with you every day. Think about something that sticks with you, or if you're writing down notes, whatever it is, put in that work, because that's how you make progress. If you do nothing with all these things that you invest yourself in, it's just something that you did. It's not something you actually invested in to put in work for yourself to grow. So this may sound like a funny question, but we are going to ask this in the chat. Does anyone here enjoy taking out the trash? Put it in the comments. Do you enjoy taking out the trash? Probably because of the smell. All right. Yeah. Great responses with that. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so when I was putting all this together, this was an analogy that I came up with, and I was like, this is good for future teachings. So think about this, okay? This is why I ask you, do you join taking out the trash? So when your trash can is filled up in your, wherever you have it, it's full, you know you got to take it out. You pull that drawstring, you tie it, you then walk it out to the dumpster. You open that dumpster lid, you put that trash bag in there. Trash lid goes down, you turn around and you walk away. You never see that trash again. That's the same concept with life. So let me ask you this. Do you enjoy taking out the trash? Because there's some things that you keep inviting into your life and doing, knowing it's trash and it doesn't belong in your house. Because you already took it out a long time ago. Stop revisiting it and stop reliving it. This time is for you. Certain people don't deserve your space or your company. Not everyone. Absolutely not. That's where boundaries come into play. That's where protecting your peace comes into play. Your time is worthy. It really is. I want you to always feel like that queen that's time reserved, that is worthy, that is royalty, and everyone is going to know who you are. Period. You need to allow yourself to process certain things in order to grow within. And sometimes those growing pains are going to hurt, but that's how you get through it. While some people may be unsure of themselves, or maybe you're unsure of yourself, stop allowing yourself to be mistreated. That's where it really comes down to. When we don't know who we are, what's going on, most of the time we're being mistreated by a certain element or levels. We're being mistreated by maybe family, friends, coworkers. I mean, sometimes people out there in the world are not nice. I get it. But Queen, you have a superpower that may have already been unleashed, which is awesome, or you still need to discover it. Go in the chat for me, ladies. Tell me what your superpower is. We have a lot, but tell me one of the superpowers that you have. One superpower that you have. Ooh. Got a couple twins in the house that said the same thing. I love it. I love your superpowers. I love it. So, one second. Here we go. Keep that chat open. I got a question for you. Is there a generational curse that stopped with you? Is there a generational curse that stopped with you? While you're typing, I'll tell you a generational curse that I chose to stop. It's quite a few, actually. But one I would tell you, and I'm going to be honest with you. And I didn't learn about this until after I said it. So I was molested when I was a kid. I then found out my grandmother went through something similar. Then I found out my mother went through something similar. I chose to stop. A lot of the generational curses that I've endured, I chose to stop with me. That's why I'm very passionate about being my own boss and working from home because I don't want to miss anything in my kids' lives. Never. I have a daughter and I have a son. They mean the world to me. It ends with me. All the curses. So your inner child, let's talk about that a little bit. Because this is a real thing. And I don't think we as women think about this. Queen, most of the common mistakes we make as adults is based on what we learned growing up, what we adapt to, what we listen to, what we see, what is taught. The things we do and the things we say, it's all learned behavior. So as an adult, it doesn't mean that you say, well, this is how I am. No. You can make a change. You can. Doesn't matter how old you are. Pay attention to those signals too. If you happen to notice that, maybe it's something your mom used to do, something your dad used to do, your grandparents, a teacher, a friend, friend's parents. It's all rolled into one. It's not just your family directly. But maybe you have already broken generational curses or you're currently working on it. If you are, Queen, I applaud you because it takes major bravery to say it ends with me. I'm done. I'm going to turn this thing called life around, my morals, my values, the way I speak to myself, the way I speak to my children, the things that I do. You have the power. That's a part of your superpower. Either way, it's progress. So please celebrate all the wins. If you happen to know or notice and feel internally, oh, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not saying that anymore. Yes, go me. Because that makes a big difference. As an adult, you may experience inner child hurt. Maybe there's flashbacks, uncertain situations that you tend to question. Where did this come from? That usually means you are in the healing process or you need to address and begin it. The more you ignore it, the harder it's going to get for you. This is a point you need to forgive yourself as well as the people who have hurt you. I know that may be hard to say or think sometimes. I had to forgive a lot of people that hurt me. I just had to move on. Because basically it's me creating my own prison for myself, and that's not fair. That's a big step. Trust me, I know. So please stop disqualifying yourself from living your life at its fullest potential. Try it out. That does not make you weak. It actually makes you stronger. Pick up those coping skills. Go on a walk. Go exercise. Go journal. Pick up the phone. Call a friend. Validate your feelings because they matter. It's time to move on forward, Queen. Reclaim your identity and stop living for others. That's a part of our inner child experiences too. We tend to live for others. And I love this graphic here. When I saw it, I almost was in tears because I was like, I feel that. It ends with me. Someone in a generation a while back said you're useless. Then it was passed down to their children and said you're worthless. But then I choose to say I love you. Right? That's big. That's a big step. All right, pull up the chat for me, ladies. This is my last question for you. Well, not really a question. I want you to put down one positive affirmation you believe about yourself. So one positive affirmation that you believe in for yourself. Woo! Look at those affirmations coming in. I love it, ladies. Great job. Oh, I love it. So the power of you in prayer. Okay. So Queen, never underestimate the power that is within you as well as prayer. They go hand in hand. This is a part of hope and faith within yourself. There's going to be those days where it feels good, it feels bad, it's probably in between. You're not too sure what is going on. When you don't have the words, be still. Be still. Get in a quiet place. Put down your phone. Just be still and breathe. Tell yourself those affirmations that you put in the chat. And just have a moment to regroup. Because you have a superpower. It's in you. It's always been in you. You're not meant to fight any battles by yourself. Again, I'm spiritual, so I take it to the throne and I release. I had to figure out and understand that these battles are not meant for me to always fight by myself. I have to let it go. I have to release. I have to be my own cheerleader. You can do this, Lance. Come on, girl. Keep your head high. Queens, when they're royalty, when you see, probably know what I'm talking about. Even if you've seen a movie with the queen or a TV show or a commercial or anything like that, or even the queen in person, real life, they always have their head high. You don't see no double chin. They have their head high. Do that for you too. Just hold your head high. Be still. Talk to yourself in the words that you wish you were talked to when you were a child. Or if that's not the case, maybe as a woman now, there's certain stuff you wish that was said to you. You have that ability. Embrace the bad. I know we have the bad days. Not everything's perfect. Progress is better. Embrace the bad, because then you use your superpower to ignite the good days. Every day when you wake up and you take that first breath, you have a chance to make that change for whatever it is. Whatever happened yesterday, that's the past. You can't take that back. You can only move forward. Queen, I want you to claim it and manifest for what you want. Put in that work. You're full time. There's no days off for yourself. It's a lot of work, but the work is probably overdue. And I want you to pay attention to that. So, with that being said, feel free to take a picture of this, a screenshot, or whatever it is. Queens, I would love to stay connected with you. Most of you I already know personally, but if you are somebody new into my life, I would love to have the opportunity for you to know who I am and for me to learn more about you. If you need someone to pray with, if you need someone to talk to release, to whatever it is, I'm not necessarily here to basically listen and then give advice. I'm going to ask permission of what you want me to do. Your body language and your tone is going to tell me that. So this is my business phone number. You can call, text it. This is my social media. And again, this was such a great opportunity, Queens. I salute you. I am so proud of you for being here, for taking the time to be with me. I hope that this helped you on so many levels. And I would love to get your guys' feedback. And you definitely can ask questions. If you feel like there's something heavy on your heart that you would love to process like real quick, then we can definitely do that, because maybe someone sharing something might be going through the same thing, right? So thank you again.
Let's give her a hand, unmute if you have anything to add. Amazing, amazing. Anybody have
Thank
anything
you,
to say right
Summer.
now?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just want to tell you, sorry, thought I had my ringer off. I want to say thank you for giving us our crowns back. You showed us how to reclaim our crowns as queens. And that was amazing, amazing. So every queen that is here today, if you got my text message, if you got my text message, please text me your name and your address, because Wrinkle Society of Hope is going to send you your crown, because we all are queens. We want to make sure that you all get your crowns. So when you get those crowns, I want you to place them on your head, as Lindsay said, and we're going to move forward, pressing through into our queendom. And so please, if you didn't get the text today, then let me know in your inbox, and let me know in the inbox so that I can make sure to text you, put your number in there so that I can text you and that I can get your name and your address, because I think all of us deserve our crowns so we can move forward to be our queens, right? Yes. So we're definitely excited. Thank you so much for being here, Lindsay. That was phenomenal, right, everybody?
Thank you.